Today in Roadcraft, things go a little too smoothly as every job gets done on the first attempt. Oh no, they're gonna ram into me. They're gonna ram into me. Oh no, I hate that. Oh no. How did I get stuck in this position? Working here on the Sandswept map, we'll be restoring power, creating infrastructure, delivering parts, and more today. Well, we're here on the Sandswept map, about 63% completion, and we've got some interesting objectives, and so I figured we'd do something today. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I mean, I kind of know. I think we're going to do this right here. Supply electricity to the central distribution substation. All right, so I've done a few things here. Well, yeah, 63% of the way through Sandswept. This one here is a route. Fairly simple enough, although I'm sure whatever we do, problems will arise. That's always the fun part, right? So electricity to... I think it's going to want us, I think it wants us to run electricity from here, yeah, up to here, which means I think we're going to have to go under the road. And so the thing with that is, I've been down this road before. If you've played enough through this game, then you know that they're going to have you lay cables, and then they're going to force you to, like, yeah, we're going to have to put it under the road, and then they're probably going to force us to use the road. That's okay. Done it a few times. Gotten decent at grading, you know, the dirt back over the thing. So, but notice that this has a bring and install a new transformer. So let's do that first. Let's do that first because we're probably gonna have to tear up the road because running this electricity, we're probably gonna have to use the road, right? So deliver object from there. Let's just go ahead and track that. It's already tracked. Good, good. Okay, we've got vehicles over here already. We've got a semi, but there's no way we're not taking the semi. The semi, yeah, it's not going anywhere. So, well, I've got a crane in the area. Actually, wait. Yeah, we do have a crane in the area. However, you know what we have even closer? You know what's really good about this? So the transformer is up there. We've got this guy right here. Let's hop in this guy. All right. We're going to pull this up there, and we'll use this to call our crane and our vehicle over there because we've got plenty of gas. We've got like 40 some gas. Like you get a lot. There's a couple things on this map that give you just a ton of it. And I hardly ever use it. I pretty much always just bring my vehicles out to where they're needed. So I don't ever use it. So we got plenty to spare. We'll use the gas and we'll call out. It's going to get this closer because our crane is slow. I've been using the tracked crane. The HWC crane is better, heavier, and everything. I made a video recently here on the channel about the tracked one. I just liked it. I like the tracked one, and it does come in handy in a lot of things. I've gotten used to how maneuverable and everything it is, and I have to turn on my HUD before I can call in. There we go. Sorry, I have to open my HUD. I like playing without the HUD, but you got to use it for some things like this. Okay, we want this truck. Yes, go ahead and recall that. And then we also want our crane. Where's our big crane? There it is. Excellent. Okay, so we got our... Yeah, I just like this darn crane. This thing is cool. It's a little slow. But you know where it's just great. Like I just had it up there with those solar panels. That's why I recalled it over here because it would have taken a second to drive it down here. I just had it over there with those solar panels. Easily maneuver it up there everywhere I needed to go. It had all the reach. Previously to this, I used it. We had to fix some big, huge pipe fittings at the port, and we had to pick up some parts on each side of the river. Like, here, I'll just show you real quick. I mean, kind of. Like, we had to come down. It was here. We had to pick something up here and load it into the truck, and then also something like here and load it into the truck. So, because I had this crane, I was able to drive it across the river and pick up a boat. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have done that with the heavy-wheeled crane. I couldn't have done it. It wouldn't have crossed the water. Anyway, so we're going to deliver this to the substation. Then we'll run the power. Yeah, we may as well call our other vehicle out here as well. First, let's get this loaded here. All right, we'll get this loaded up here. Let's pull this way, and I think it's going to have to be up on the edge of the bed. Let's see, can I get it perfectly in there? Oh, wow. Okay, that's actually pretty perfect. All right. This guy's strapped down. Now, where are we going with this guy? I think it's, I think we can just follow the road. I think we can just follow the road over there. So you can, I could have used the crane truck. Now, let's see which road we're taking. And I could have fit this in the back in its bed. But man, these things barely fit in the back of that truck. And that truck gets so tippy. And you know what else? I get tired of using it. I get tired of using that crane truck. You know, in SnowRunner, there were so many trucks that had cranes on them. I feel like half the trucks in the game had cranes on them so they could load themselves. And I've unlocked almost every vehicle here. Yeah, absolutely. As far as I've seen, there's the one truck here that has a crane. There's a truck that has a grabby crane. You know, but I mean, you know, with like a winch cable, you know, like with the Traverse and a winch cable, there's only the one. I get tired of using it, is the point. I get tired of using it. I think it's odd that I'm sure more will be available later on. Like they'll either release more as DLC or there'll be mods, you know, or something like that. But I think this is the road we need right here, is moving this guy out of the way. But yeah, and as handy as that truck is, I wish we had a choice in the matter, like, you know, a different one we could use. All right, now we're on our way down here with the transformer, and of course I'm gonna have to get the crane down there. That did occur to me because I'm not using the crane truck. Look, again, you know, I like it. It's great. It's I would say it's overall the handiest vehicle in the fleet. I use it for, yeah, I use it more than literally anything else. But because that, you know, I also get tired of it, and sometimes I want to use other stuff. This map is beautiful, but you know, I'm really tired of sand right about now because the map I did before this, was it called Sojourn? I can't remember. I can't remember the other map. There's 3 maps on this tier in the game, and well, 2 of them are desert maps. 2 of them are North Africa desert maps. Anyway, so I just did the other one. I can't remember the name. They have weird names, right? The point is, yeah, I've been in the desert for 2 maps straight now. I'm really looking forward to the other map in this tier on the game, you know, the top map on the list that's all flooded. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, getting out there in the forest, in the flooded plains. I can't remember the names. I'm really bad because of that. So we got this out here. Here's what we're going to do. Oh, yeah. No, you know what? Yeah, that crane truck would be useless here. And you know, one thing I've noticed, as you progress in the game, they make things harder, particularly because, like, for instance, in the case of that crane truck, they know you're going to use that. And one thing I've noticed is that's another reason I've been using that tracked crane more and more, is because more and more of the jobs, as you progress, they, like the simple pipes you got to fix, they make it so that because usually when you fix pipes, you use that crane truck, right? Because you can carry the pipes in the back of it and fix it. But they, as you progress in the game, they make it harder and harder to do that. They put the stuff farther away from where you can park the vehicle. Like right there, they're making it so you kind of can't use that. That's cool. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to call this guy in. I'm going to turn my HUD back on for this. We're going to call in... I already gave this some thought. We're going to call this guy in here. So we got the cable layer. We're going to lay cable from this direction down there. We're going to drive this down there where we are and call the crane down there. That way, so we'll have the cable layer over here. So we'll start the cable from this direction. Because, I don't know, it seemed like a good idea. We're going to drive this down there and get that crane and unload that. Yeah, but yeah, they've been making things so that things are just harder to do, which I like. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I noticed that in, I think it was the last video that we did here, or the second, it was one of the most recent videos I did here on the channel, where I went back and redid the tutorial mission, you know, with the high-level equipment. And yeah, what seemed like difficult challenges then were absolutely nothing, because now you're used to, even the simplest of tasks has like huge obstacles to it, which I think is cool. All right, we've got this vehicle out here. Maybe I didn't need to pull it all the way in here, but I did without thinking. I was just following the road. Let's get this parked over here. Yeah, look at that. We still got 38 gas left. So we need this guy here. And where to put it? Whoops. There we go. Here we go. All right, piece of cake. Oh, but we need to unstrap the transformer, don't we? Unstrapped, and let's get this guy up here. Also, I like this, well, I like everything about this crane. It doesn't have the supports, so you can, okay, it doesn't have the supports. Now, to be fair, you don't have to use the supports to operate the wheeled crane, but you kind of do if you don't want it to tip over, right? Now, what I mean is, so this thing, you know, this thing operates, it can't lift as heavy a load as the heavy wheeled crane, but this crane can operate at 100% of its capacity, you know, while moving, which I do like, you know. So like, though it can't operate as high as the HWC crane, it can move and rotate while working at its full capacity because it doesn't have the beams, the support beams. I guess that's like the best way that I could, you know, phrase it. All right, so we've got that there in place. Let's have a look, but I think the only way to run power is that road that we took out here. I think it's just what we're going to have to do, and I'm sure they'll have us do a delivery route out here, so we're just going to have to grade and pave over it. But look, finding a way other than the road is going to be, they make it so that it's obvious there's only the one way to do it, really. Let's hop in this guy here, and let's go ahead and start this. Okay, so let's see here. So, yeah, there. Actually, not from here, but from down there. But yeah, basically from here, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the only way is with that road. Wait, unless... I mean, there's some tricky ways that we could do it. You know what? Actually, so let's actually do something different. Let's try to not use the road. I think we can get it up through here. I think we can get it up through here. Let's be creative and see if we can't do that. So let's get this fired up. Let's get this down here. I try to make it a point not to do stuff the way they want me to. I think that's the fun part of playing this game, is that you can do things any way you want, right? And yeah, so let's see if we can not do this the way they want us to. Now, one thing is, it doesn't like to lay cable. It won't lay cable over rocks or across roads or things like that. But if you've practiced with this, you've seen that there's some tricky things you can do. You know, like crossing roads with it. Just if you can get the cable, you know, basically laid into adjacent, what do you call it? Like, you know, blocks. Like if this, for instance, if this were like Minecraft or something, right? If you could get the power like in, you know, in like 2 blocks like adjacent to each other, it will connect. So you can place it across the roads and through rocks and stuff. If you can get it so that like, well, we'll see, because we're going to have to do that because, you know. All right, so we are going this way. We're avoiding the road. We're keeping to this side of the road. Probably have to pull up the map a few times. We want to look for basically that place we saw on the map. Which hopefully it looks the same down here. Let's keep this, as long as we keep it blue, you know, if it's going to pull it up from time to time, but as long as we can keep our thing in the blue there. And you know, one thing about this is always turning it. You have to like, because yeah, you turn left, it swings right, etc. Right? It's a pain in the butt. All right, let's have a look at this on the map here. We are going. Ooh, okay. You know what? Let's do. Here's what let's do. Okay, let's put that there. And just in case, it might be harder to see when I get down there. It might not be so obvious, right? All right, so there's the route we're taking. Because, yeah, it might not be, you know, that obvious. Yeah, I bet you almost anything that it has us bring a route over this directly after we're done here. Darn it, what's it picking up over here for? Oh, well, I have the HUD off. It probably was saying that it can't do it right there. That's okay. There we go. We're gonna have to do that a lot because we're weaving this in between rocks here. Okay, so I see where we're going. And so, yeah, I have done this. I have made roads over this before, and it's not that bad. You just put the grader, put the bulldozer on manual, and you get that blade right at the right level, just push it, you can smooth it out pretty good in one pass, really. This darn thing, it keeps wanting to swing out over the road, trying to get it to... Yeah, I'm trying to cut it close to the road, but not hit the road. It keeps wanting to swing out there, and if it does, it does. On the one of the last maps I did, in Commuta, no, I forget which map it was. It was the last of these two sand maps, the previous one before this. I had to make a big long road directly over a power cable the whole way. I just try to avoid it if I can. I bet if we swing this out this way... Okay, so now we're just going up this bit here. You know, and they may have put this one little path here just so that you could do this. I've noticed a few things in the map design that I can't help but think is super deliberate. Like, it's almost like there are some things that they put there because they know you have to do it the hard way. And then at times like this, it's almost like they put this here for this exact reason, which may, you know, it's probably obvious that they did, actually. Either way, the maps are designed really well, and I really enjoy working on these. The ones that I've seen so far. The only one I haven't seen, yes, I haven't seen the last map, and I'm looking forward to... There's going to be further DLC releases. Some kind of one coming up. I look forward to seeing that. But you put so much time in on these maps. It's good that they've designed them so well. Wow, that was way easier than I thought it would be. I thought that was going to be tough. Well, guys, we can go on to the next thing then, because I guess this ended up being kind of a breeze a little bit. We didn't even have to put it over the road. This is like the coolest looking vehicle in the world. When I first unlocked this thing, and I saw this vehicle, I'd never seen anything that looked this cool. I mean, it looks like a... Well, it looks like a tank with like a rocket pack on it. When I first saw it, I didn't know what it was, right? And yeah, it looks like some kind of... What was this? Let me see.
But the power line to the town is out. I risk being called predictable, but guess whose turn it is to deliver the resources needed to repair it? You guessed right. So please get rolling.
Right. Yeah, it looks like some kind of like steampunk army tank with a rocket pack on the back. That was like my first impression. I was like, you know, what the heck is this thing? And, okay, let's see what she wants us to do. First, let's get rid of these markers. I don't like markers marking up my screen. That was so ridiculously easy. That was awesome. Oh, how's my XP? I'm trying to hit level 17. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Man, it goes slow. All right, so... Restore power line. Let's just see what this is. I've been putting this one off for a while. This route. We should just do that route. I've been putting it off. Should take you guys with me and get that route busted out. But I do want to see this. Support. Okay, what does it say? Power line. Okay. Deliver resources to repair the power line and connect it to a grid. So, oh, well, that's actually pretty easy. We can just bring the power down from here. Oh. How would we get power up there? Okay, well, it's easy except for there's a little bit of logistical issue with that. I just wanted to see that, but yeah, let's do something different because we just did the power line. So let's do this route. I've been putting it off. Let's get it done. Provide enough supplies to El-Amir. Infrastructure route. All right, so river base to El-Amir. And okay, we've already got this bridge repaired. So we're going to be going up this bridge. And then let's see, let's get an idea where it wants us to go. I guess we're going to be going up this road. Yeah, that just looks like the way we're going. All right, now there's a lot of routes that has you run from the river base here. As you can see, I've got 3 plotted out. I've already run them to exhaustion and canceled them. Yeah, always make sure that you run the route as many times as you need to and cancel it before moving on. They love to, especially as you get later in the game, put overlapping routes which use the same road. And really just make sure that you've, yeah, because I've already run 2 other routes to go down this narrow stretch here. There's no way you can run those at the same time. You have trucks colliding. So what I do is I try to do the routes and then do other things while it runs, you know, and then get on another one. Because I find, yeah, the later I get in the game, the more it has me use the same routes over and over. Well, they're just, you know, they're forcing you to solve more logical problems, you know, like using the same road for multiple routes, etc. All right. Can make that turn a little better. Yeah, that's fine. This down here. Okay, we are going to turn here, I believe. And who knows, we're going to have obstacles and stuff in the way. We're going to have, who knows what kind of trucks they'll give us for the route. I don't know. I'm hoping they give some good off-road trucks. I kind of bet they will. I'm kind of thinking it won't be a semi or something. Been getting a lot of semis lately. Actually, been getting a lot of deliveries where it gives you random vehicles. For instance, I had one recently that went from the port to the Riverside base there, where we just were, and it would sometimes send big 3-axle trucks and sometimes send semis. And it was actually random. Like if I canceled the route and restarted it, it would give me a random vehicle. And the thing is, one of the, oddly not the semi, but as oddly the other truck, kept getting stuck. So every time it sent that truck, I just kept resetting it until I got a semi. I had to do it every time because it was driving the truck off into the water. It's a long story, but yeah. So I've seen 2 routes so far on this map, 2 for sure. They give you random vehicles when you start them, and by restarting them, you can get yeah. So we'll see here. All right, let's just see what it gives us. Dispatch. We may have to follow this along and monitor it. What's it giving us? Here, let's. Come on. Give me there we go. Garage. Give me a vehicle. Give me a vehicular unit here. Oh, rusty one. Okay, I meant to not get the rusty one, but it doesn't matter. Let's just get it. Let's just follow this guy. I was in a hurry. I just want to see what if he runs in any trouble or anything. There's probably assuredly yeah, there's most definitely trucks behind him, you know. Let's see what they are. Yeah. Let's pull up here. We'll pull over here and let him pass up here. So the first initial trip, we're going to have multiple vehicles, right? And then, but after this, it'll just be one truck at a time. So right now, our goal is we're just going to make sure these guys don't need any help getting through this, see if there's any barriers or anything. Okay, so there we got good off-road trucks in the back. Those trucks will make it through anything. Yeah, those trucks will make it through anything. It's this guy here I'm most worried about. But assuming there's no semis or the there's these other trucks. I don't know what to call them, but they have 3 axles, but they're not all-wheel drive. They're the ones that usually get stuck on things, and I don't see any of those with this convoy. Nah, so but we'll see what it sends on the next trip. Look at me, so helpful, just following the convoy along, making sure they have no problems. Well, I mean, if he gets stuck, we can push him, you know. And he's going to make it up this. Whoops. Oh, no. Oh, no, they're going to ram into me. They're going to ram into me. Oh, no, I hate that. Oh, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I have to back up. Yeah, I couldn't. He was slamming into me. And he was making it impossible to climb this. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, jeez. I have to get off the road. No, I can't. I have to go up with him now. How did I get stuck in this position? Oh, jeez. Those trucks are capable. They're actually more capable than this thing at climbing this hill. Let's get out of the way here. Oh, wow. Oh, man. That was scary. These trucks, these big trucks surrounding me on all sides, honking at me. That's like a nightmare. It's like a traffic nightmare. Okay. I swear I've had that happen to me going through a city before. it's like flashbacks of bad traffic in freaking Houston or something. Okay. All right. We're clear. The route made it through just fine. Right, let's go ahead and let's recall this vehicle back. I meant to call the good one, not the rusty one. I don't know how much better the good one is, but let's put this away. I don't like to have more vehicles out than I need. Where is this guy? He's down here. Oh, he's down here by the construction depot. Okay. All right, so last truck in. Man, that was pretty good. That's pretty good stuff. Man, today's been going way too smooth. But we need to see what the next truck they send is.
This next request gives me some unpleasant flashbacks, just so you know. The local radio tower is acting up. El-Amir is completely offline, even though they have power now. We're using our own relay, so it doesn't affect us. But you never know when you might need a backup line.
Alright, so what do they want?
Besides, you only need to plan a route between El-Amir and the tower. They'll fix it themselves.
Another route?
Deal than last time, right?
Okay. But we want to see what kind of vehicles are going to be going down this route. We want to know if there's anything we got to maintain, fix, etc. All right, so Riverside, River Base. Oh, they sent the truck already. Okay, good, good, good. Oh, it's a big truck. Okay, so as long as they keep sending these, yeah, these trucks are super capable. When you see these going down the road, you're fine, right? Yeah, we should be fine. And these don't even go through deep sand. The only time I see those trucks get stuck is when they have to run repeatedly, you know, through deep sand or mud, and they just start digging ruts. Let's have a look at this. So per truck, 200, 700. So 10 runs, 10 trucks. Now, one thing I haven't tried, but I bet you could do. When this truck completes its route, there's a delay, like a long delay before it starts another truck. Usually it's like, I don't know, what, 2 or 3 minutes? Seems like there's several minutes between trucks. I haven't tried this, but I see no reasons why this wouldn't work. Why don't we try it? When this truck gets there, we're going to cancel and then restart the route, and I bet we get another truck immediately. Because you see, sometimes you kind of got to let these routes run their course before you do the next thing. For instance, these interfering routes, these 3, now 4 routes here at the river base, they had us run 3 of these back to back, and I had to finish one before I could do the other one because they all use the same road. Well, I was thinking, wouldn't it be faster to complete these if we let this truck get there, just camp it, basically camp it, you know, cancel, restart the route, and just send the trucks rapid fire out. Let's see if we can do that. We'll just do one or two just to see if it works, right? However, there's been some routes. Let's check this. There's been some routes, but I think it's the earlier maps where they'll actually send the next one before the previous one finishes. But I think, again, that's something that as you get later in the game, things get more difficult. I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think as you get later in the game, there is a longer delay between the trucks they send. Because I only saw that in the very early game, where there'd be 2 trucks on the route at once. Yeah, I don't see another truck on here, so we're going to wait for him to finish, and then we'll cancel it, restart it, and see if we can exploit it a little bit that way. Well, it's not exploiting it, it's just hurrying them up, right? All right, so there, we got our reward for that. Now let's go back here. See, there's going to be a delay before it starts the truck, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cancel the route and hit dispatch vehicles. Boom. That does work. I thought that it might. So guys, yeah, I'm going to add that. I'm making a tips video for the game. I'm like 100 hours into the game, but I'm still writing down tips to include in the tips video because I want a really good, concise one. So we're going to put that in the list of ways to speed up routes. All right. Okay, let's have a look at objectives. I just wanted to see if that worked for you guys. It works. Repair radio tower near El-Amir. Now, this is what she was just talking about. It's a route, and it does not look like it interferes with this. So we're doing a route from there to the central radio tower. Let's have a look at it. It's a green wheel route, so it's an easy route, it says. But I found those can be troublesome. Yeah, if it decides to send a two-wheel drive vehicle, right? Let's start plotting this. Let's see. So it's going to cross that route, but that's not a big deal, right? So let's just send this down here. This seems to be the obvious way. Kind of a long route. Just going to take this up this road here. Hopefully it's one of those off-road trucks because we got a... This looks like a fairly steep sandy hill here. Man, I'm tired of the desert. The desert is beautiful. It is. And I'll tell you, after the map Sunken, which, by the way, I still haven't finished, after Sunken, I was really looking forward to getting to the desert. But you know what? I'm dying to get back into flooded plains now. Okay. Yeah, I still haven't finished Sunken. I'm like 80-some%. I mean, the map's done. It's just not, you know, I don't have it 100%ed yet, right? There's some side objectives left. I've been putting off. Let's get this a little better. There we go. All right, and let's see what they're giving us here. Got a pickup truck in the lead. Yeah, you know, the first run the vehicles may differ between the first run and the follow-up runs. And we got an off-road truck. Yep, got a big off-road truck. All right, man, we are blazing through stuff today. I did not think this was going to go this fast. So where do you think this is? Like Ethiopia or something? I don't know. It says North Africa. I've never been to Africa. But like, look at that church over there and everything. And like, I don't know. It's my guess. Like up in the like high areas, like Ethiopia or something maybe. Obviously, wherever we're at, it's like imaginary. And there's like 40, there's actually like 40 some countries in Africa, and I can name maybe 10 of them. So to be fair, I'm in no place to guess. But anyway, a lot of times I'll plot these routes, and there's stuff in the road a lot of times that you just don't see from overhead. So many times I'll plot these routes, and then I'll spectate the trucks going down it, and there's like boulders in the road that I somehow did not see from the overhead view. But, ooh, look at that. Threaded the needle right through those. Yeah, I can't say for sure that I even saw those there. Man, this has been too successful. All right, up. Oh, I spoke too soon. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Oh, he's good. You know, sometimes the AI takes turns that are too wide. I think it's, well, there's clearly a problem with the AI sometimes, right? There's clearly a problem with the AI. I had one that, the one I told you about earlier, which was, here, let's pull this up. There was one that goes right here from the port up to the river base, and this turn right here. So this is the one I spoke of where it was alternating. It was sending like 2/3 of the time it would send a 3-axle truck, and the other like 1/3 of times it would send a semi. And if it was the 3-axle truck, this turn right here, it wouldn't take it. It would go all the way wide and just ditch it in the water every time. No matter how many times I reshaped this curve, no matter how many times I reshaped it, the trucks drove straight off the pier into the water. So it's like lemmings. It was the stupidest thing I ever saw. But when it was semis, it was fine. So I just kept restarting it until it sent a semi through, right? It was weird. The AI, this game needs some work. All right, guys, there we go. There's that. That's one of the whole big things done. And we have unlocked a new vehicle, which I definitely want to try out. I think I know what it is. I think it's a big grabby crane, but nevertheless, we're going to try this out. Man, so much stuff has been getting done today. Usually I make these videos and like unexpected stuff happens. I keep waiting for unexpected things to happen, and well, not yet. All right, garage. Let's go see what we unlocked. So yeah, it's a grabber. I got plenty of money. We got more than enough money, so we're going to buy it. I haven't found much of a use for these. I mean, here's the thing, like, yeah, if you know, leave me a comment down below. But as far as I've seen, everything in the game that can be picked up has a winch point to pick it up. And these grabby cranes, they're just less effective because anything this could grab, the other one could pick up easier without dropping it, right? So we're going to buy this because we have more than enough money. And let's try it out. Yeah, let's try it out. But I don't see a real use for it. Oh yeah, let's check our... So let's check this one route real quick here. Let's check this route. Is there any trucks on it? Yes, there is a truck on it. I was going to say, if there's not a truck on it, we'll reset it. Okay, and the truck is just now delivering its goods. That's a pickup truck. That's not one of the off-road trucks. That was just a pickup truck, I think. That's delivered. So, cancel. Dispatch. Aha, I love that trick. That's awesome. Let's make sure that it works. Yeah, that works 100%. That's really good to know. All right, so let's try out our new crane. We want to try that out. There it is. Yeah, I was hoping for something cooler, but we're going to have to wait till level 18 to get something cool. See if we go here. I know I've not been peeking ahead. I don't know what this stuff is, but at 18 we get this guy. Now this guy is under the section. This guy's under the crane section. So whatever it is, it's some kind of crane. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. I haven't cheated and peeked ahead, so I don't know. I like to get the surprise of what the heck this thing is, but it looks cool. That's next level. For now, we got this guy here. Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, I don't see it. Just I don't see anything that this guy could do that the other one can't do. Now, okay, so this does not have the telescoping arm. No telescoping arm. So, I mean, it's a different vehicle. Let's get this out here. I don't like all these glowy things. I hope that I think they should either tone these glowy things down or put an option where we can minimize it, you know? Because even here, I have no HUD. I have no HUD on, and look, they're so obtrusive. Yeah, so this thing's pretty cool. I want to keep this in mind, and I'm sure we can find a use for it. All right, enough playing with this. Let's park this over here, and, you know, we still got time to complete something else, I think. Today's been the most productive day yet. You know, usually I turn this on in the morning. Usually I play Roadcraft in the morning after breakfast, and usually I do like 1 or 2 jobs, and then that's like it until lunch. Like sometimes, sometimes these jobs take like an hour or 2. This is really unusual. If you've played the game, yeah, you let me know in the comments below. You agree? Usually, especially later in the game, these things take like a minute, right? Let's not do power right now, because that's gonna take time. There's no way that's quick. What is this? 5 steel beams. Boom, we can do that. We can bust that out. We can bust that out so quick. You guys know how? Because I thought ahead on this one. All right, we're gonna track that. So we need 5 steel beams. Notice we have 0. Not a problem. Watch this. We're gonna go to the desert base. I'm already set up for this. Yeah, I didn't mean to hit that button. I meant to go here. Yeah, it's crazy how set up for this I already am. All right, so we deploy here at the desert base. We're going to use this vehicle here, and we're going to go get 5 steel beams. Now, I already, what I did was I got a spare crane that I'm not using, and I left it at here on this map on Sandswept. The steel beams facility and the steel pipes facility are next door to one another. So I left a big wheeled crane over there. Not one of the good ones. Yeah, to say I left a spare one. I left a rusty crane over there. So it's not one I prefer to use in the field, but it's perfectly effective. I just left it over there. I've already, the recycling, I have already pumped those things full of steel. So there's like probably close to 20 steel beams ready to pull out, right? So there's like, what I'm saying is, yeah, there's like close to 20 steel beams ready to pull out, and there's a crane already parked there. I think it's a really good idea. Places that you think you'll be using later, like for instance, the steel facilities or what have you, get a crane you're not using, like for instance a rusty one, and park it there, right? Again, the crane truck is cool, but later in the game they make it harder to use. They give you more inconvenient places to load and unload, and trickier roads. That little crane truck is not so capable. It flips over easy, etc. I like this guy here. Actually, this is not my favorite cargo truck. This is just the one I've been using. My favorite cargo truck is the one with the big wheels, but it's kind of skinny feeling, and it feels like its turn radius is not as good as this one's. So anyway, I'm going to get this over to the steel beams facility. It's just right up this hill over here. Here on the Sandswept map, here by the steel beams facility and the pipes facility. there's a bunch of scrap, as there always is. Well, there's some of the scrap. It's like big parts of like, it looks like parts of water towers. They're like really, really big pieces. Like you'd have to bring like a heavy wheel crane to pick them up. And those recycle for like close to 10 steel each, I want to say. They're like, yeah, like really big sections of water towers. And those are just absolutely ideal for this. Now, the trick is, let's see, we need 5. There we go. Should be 5 right there. Okay. I was going to say the trick to this is getting that HUD to pop up, you know, where it says open the resources or whatever, right? It doesn't like to trigger. But then I realized I have my HUD turned off and I wouldn't see it anyway. So I just started hitting the button and, well, it works. All right. So, yeah, this is a really, really great tip here. Leaving a crane parked at one of these places. I think I'll add that to my tips video as well. Yeah, rusty vehicles have a purpose, right? You know, you're not using the rusty vehicle well. Yeah, leave it parked somewhere where you may need it. Now, I think all we have to do for this is just, I'm going to read the objective and make positive sure. But it seems to me this is one where we just need to drop it off, or just need to, you know, put it in our base storage, right? Which I could have done ahead of time. To be fair, if I really wanted to be prepared and think ahead of time, then I could have taken these 20 or so beams that I have the ability to recall here, and you know, I could have already run them to the base, is what I'm saying. But, all right, last one in the truck, and yeah, so I guess I could grab more, but well, there's no reason to be too prepared. I mean, AKA I'm too lazy to load anymore right now. And there we go. Yeah, good enough. Good enough. All right. Yeah, let's make sure on the objective that we know what we're doing with these. Yeah, it says store, so that just needs to be in our place. Yeah. It does say establishing a route. We'll see about that for now. Let's just get this back to our base. And I go to the desert base. It's kind of a far drive. Yeah, you know, is the river base closer? This is kind of right in between. Where we're at is kind of right in between. See, to go to the desert base, I have to go all the way across this bridge, through all this stuff, and up here. It seems like the river base would be closer, but I have to go, okay, so we'd have to go down by this road here, and then up this road here, through, through Tifletown, down this road. Yeah. Now this is just unless there's a base on this map I don't know about, which is entirely possible. No, that's the edge of the map there. Unless there's something I'm missing. The steel and pipe mill here on Sandswept are just in a really inconvenient location, and it's just a really far drive. Yeah. I like this color scheme I got for the trucks here. I do jockey my color scheme around because I want different, interesting thumbnails for the videos, right? You know, so you've seen my trucks green, you've seen them red, you've seen them other colors. I want different looking trucks in the thumbnails of the videos, and in the videos, I want different looking content, right? Well, I gotta say, in shuffling my company colors around, I like this color thing here. In the menu, it looks like yellow and black, but when you select it and you see on the vehicles, you see it's actually like, yeah, like construction yellow and olive drab. And I like the combination. It's really... well, it's really off-putting and ugly, but I kind of like that style of color for construction equipment and tractors. I think construction equipment and tractors, I think they work best when they're bright colors, obviously, because they're more about function than form, right? Hence why they're usually bright oranges, greens, and yellows, so you can see them. They stand out, you know, or reds. Or in the case of, like, for instance, Fendt tractors, you know, red and green, or Kloss, right? Red and green, right? I think it's... and so what I'm saying is, in the case of tractors, the construction equipment, where function runs over form, I think there is some style, you know, in that. I'm not alone there. I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure you agree, right? Like, in coloring them bright, obnoxious colors so that they're clearly visible, it looks cool, right? Like, I wouldn't expect to see a sporty paint job Although I guess you do sometimes on tractors. Okay, there are tractors with sporty looking limited edition paint jobs. Okay. Anyway, just saying. I like the gaudy combination of colors of the olive drab and the bright yellow. I think it's cool. Yeah. Enough of that. Ran over. Let's get this back to the desert base. All right, and we return to the desert base with 5 steel beams. Let's see, there's our place right up here. For some reason I have a truck parked in the thing, don't know why. And there we go. Let's see. Should be, I probably have to click it to complete it. Transfer resources. Spent on task. Let's back out of this. Okay, I didn't get any kind of confirmation or anything, but that's done. Yeah, I mean, put our resources where they need to go. And so far, let's check our routes, but our routes are still operational. That one still has 3 more trucks to go on it. And this one here still has 5 more trucks left to go run its route. So, yeah, we got a lot done today, like way more. This is like twice as much as I usually get done. Honestly, I thought that first thing we did, laying that power, I was sure that was going to be a complicated task. That route to El-Amir that I was putting off, I was like, okay, it's fine, let's do that, because surely that'll provide a challenge for today's video. But no, that was easy as well. Today's gone really smooth, so thanks guys for following along. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Guys, you never know what's going to happen in Roadcraft. Sometimes it's a Murphy's Law situation. Sometimes it's stuff like today. Anyway, thanks so much for following along. Be sure to subscribe and tell me what you think in the comments down below. Guys, I will catch you next time. Try to have a video tomorrow or the next day. Hopefully tomorrow, right? And, yeah, so I will see you then. Peace out.